Writer Oscar Wilde apparently knew what he was talking about when he said that life imitates art more than the other way around. How else could one explain the fact that my review copy of the new Thief game got stolen at work? Well, that or it sprouted legs and walked out of the shipping dock. Yeah, and I'm a drop-dead gorgeous Ralph Lauren model with a sexy voice. Fortunately, this sexy man managed to procure a digital copy through legitimate means, of course. So after making my download cap scream and likely earning overage fees from my internet service provider, which one can debate is another form of thievery, I booted the game and finally got to do some stealing of my own. Heck, I'd steal a sock with holes if this game would let me, especially given all the grief I went through last week. A reboot of the classic franchise, Thief brings the series up to modern standards with pumped-up graphics and some new mechanics. The result is likely going to be polarizing for both hardcore fans and folks who don't have any emotional investment in the original games. Set in a medieval and Victorian-style world with a dash of steampunk, Thief chronicles the adventures of Master Swiper Garrett following a fateful mission to steal a mysterious artifact. The game uses a combination of world styles, including a more open hub, mixed in with more focused mission stages. Graphically, the game looks great, especially on beefier systems. This includes the details on characters such as the Beggar Queen, for example, or the interplay between light and shadow. The latter also plays a key role in the game. As a master thief, Garrett is skilled in using the shadows as a security blanket, allowing him to skulk around undetected. Folks who play on the PS4 will even notice how the light on your controller changes based on whether you're in shadow or light, which is either cool or distracting depending on the person. Eventually you'll learn to use this to your advantage by extinguishing flames or switching off other light sources. Garrett also has a useful swoop ability that allows him to move quickly between dark areas. Various contraptions also allow our thief to scale walls or rappel from beams to escape detection or gain access to other areas. Unlike Deus Ex Human Revolution or even Dishonored, which let you tailor your playstyle to stealth or action, Thief leans heavily toward the stealth side of the equation. Yes, you can go toe-to-toe with foes, but not to the extent you can in those two other games. One neat thing about Thief is that it allows you to customize your settings to make play closer to the original games. This includes turning off the heightened focus ability that hardcore Thief fans may consider an unnecessary crutch. You can even dial up things to the point where one botch on your part will cause a game over. Depending on your preference for pure stealth or action, the game will rate you as either a ghost, opportunist, or predator. One downside is how you're constricted at times in using the environment to the fullest. Like Woody Harrelson, for example, Garrett can't jump, limiting your wall climbing and scaling to preset points in the map. You also can only use your rope arrows on certain beams, ruining the immersion a bit. I also ran across some glitches, like a guard who kept taking a leak over and over and over and over. It was so painful to watch that I totally disregarded the Hippocratic Oath and just knocked the poor guy out. I can only hope that word doesn't leak out about it. Meanwhile, the story starts out promising, but sort of fizzles out midway. And yes, I'm choosing my vocabulary on purpose because I have the humor of a 12-year-old. By the way, I'm not sure if having a digital copy has something to do with it, but I ended up having to download data midway like this as well. Despite its issues, Thief is still a fun romp overall. The fact that you can replay chapters or client jobs once you've finished them adds replayability to the game as well. Folks who want more action will likely find the bigger emphasis on stealth to frankly be maybe too boring. But if you're like myself and enjoy games that let you skulk around in the shadows, then you'll find the stealth parts of Thief to be more enjoyable than even Deus Ex or Dishonored's stealth sequences.